Muscle TV, proudly brought to you by Maxines, for the body you want, and Maxes, because life's too short to be small.
There's no cure for this one! 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 This one! This one! This one! There's no cure for this one!
Hello everyone, I'm Tony Doherty and welcome to another big week of Muscle TV. We just keep delivering the goods, folks. Tonight, the Extreme Chef and I are back in the kitchen talking about post-workout nutrition, and we hit the gym with a couple of very popular members of the Max's team that have really walked the walk when it comes to changing their physiques and getting in great shape. First up though, we're back with Muscle TV favourite Dirk to take us through another incredible workout that'll blow your minds, and with a world-class athlete that can do things that not many people can do. Let's check it out.
So today we're doing a workout that we normally do with grapplers, wrestlers and ground fighters. The main focus that we have with today is flexibility, mobility, performed in an explosive manner. The athlete we're using today, his name is Sahit Prizreni. Sahit's an elite level wrestler, ranked third in the world. He's been in 2 Olympics, multiple world championships, and to go through his list of achievements is way too long for this segment. He's a very special athlete, and the things that you'll see him do today, I'd advise you not to try at home. So the exercises that we're going to do in the circuit will develop a lot of different capabilities and capacities. So it has a conditioning component, an anaerobic component, an explosive component, strength, speed, agility, quickness. So it's the full gamut of physical abilities we're aiming to improve in one circuit. We're going to perform the circuit in a typical circuit style. So we're going to do a minute of each exercise. We're going to move to the next exercise without any rest. So we're going to do 10 minutes of exercise in a row. Then Sahit will have a brief rest, and then he will replicate that 2 more times to get a total of 3 circuits out. The first exercise we're going to do in the circuit is a series of box jumps. We're ready, Sahit? I'm going to go 1 minute round of jumps. Go. Now, we've built this quite high for Sahit because of his ability, but I have to make a few points about safety. When you jump onto a box, you should never actually jump off it because of the large amount of forces that you'll experience in the landing. Now, the best thing to do is if it's this high and you're really going to challenge yourself, you need 2 people in assistance. I'm going to stand in front and make sure none of this moves. And if Sahit overbalances and feels like he's going to fall forward, well, I'm here to break that. On the backside, James is going to stand behind Sahit. So if he misses his footing and slips backwards, there's someone to catch him or to break that fall. So safety is always number 1. You guys at home, if you're going to try this, don't sacrifice the safety, even though you think you're pretty good. Always have people around you to help you and make sure you've got the right flooring, etc. Good boy, Sahit. Stop it there. So after we finish that, we're going to strap him up into some elastic bands that go around each side of his shoulders. And we give him a medicine ball, and he's going to perform what would be called a takedown maneuver in wrestling. All right, minutes on. Let's go. All right, let's get explosive with the Sahit. Okay, explode, explode, explode. So in wrestling, the 2 opponents face off against each other standing, and then they perform a shooting movement. So they shoot down at the legs to try to basically pick them up and throw the opponent. The reason we're using the elastic bands as a resistance is because Sahit needs to do this in the most explosive way that he can. So obviously for him, it's a specific kind of movement pattern used in wrestling, but really for anyone else who wants to use it, it's a great leg workout, fantastic to get your heart rate high, great for flexibility, you're stretching through your hamstrings, great for your quads as well, so you're getting a little bit of an all-round effect with it. After that, we're going to move on to another Swiss ball exercise. However, we're going to use the cable machine as well. Sahit's going to wrap his arms around the ball, and with the added weight from the cable, he's going to perform a throw. He's going to do it to alternating sides. So the purpose of this exercise is basically to build real strength through the core, explosive strength as well, at funny angles that you probably wouldn't get if you do more traditional exercises. Now we've got about 30 pounds on the weight stack here. As we do the second and third rounds, we're actually going to take that up slightly. But for the first time, we just keep it at a moderate weight. From there, we're going to use a sand fill ball, up to 60 kilos for Sahit. The reason we're using such a heavy ball for him, say it weighs about 67 to 68 kilos, and that's pretty close to actually the body weight of someone he'll be fighting. For him to develop the ability to pick that up at various angles and planes of motion and get it up to his shoulders will obviously help him immensely when he's trying to maneuver opponents in a similar fashion. So obviously for elite level athletes, or for any athlete, but specifically in grappling or tackling sports, having a sandbag or a sandball is great because the weight shifts whilst you're trying to move it. And whilst that's really good for, say it for today, you just have to be careful with that if you're trying it for the first time at home. You might want to start with a fixed weight in the beginning and learn how to pick that up before you move on to the sand weights. Moving on from there, we're going to do basically a squat jump, which is done for distance. Obviously, we're going to do it for a minute as well, but he's going to basically jump like a frog. So when we're doing this jumping exercise, he's really endeavouring to do two things. One is to explode as far as he can forward. The second thing is to keep his balance, because it's really easy to tilt and fall forward when landing. Keep going, Sahit. And the other thing he's trying to achieve with the jumps is minimal what we call ground contact time. The longer he's on the ground, the less explosive the next jump's going to be. From there, we're going to go into another sort of calisthenic gymnastic move, which is a jump that's preceded with either a full somersault or a half somersault if you can't do a full tumble. All right, let's do it. Time has started. Go for it. When Sahit does this manoeuvre, it might look smooth, but there's a whole lot of things going on. You've got all the muscles in your legs working from your quads to your hamstrings, your glutes. Your core is really taking a hammering with the rolls, whether you do a half roll or a full roll. And then again, to jump out of that, your calves, your hips, the muscles around the knee, everything's going to be working at maximum capacity. The 9th drill in the circuit is using what we call a Bulgarian bag. It's another implement filled with sand, and it has quite an effect on the core and shoulders with the way that we're going to use it. Really dynamic slams here. Let's go explosive. And slam it hard. Now remember, this bag's 28 kilos. Just under half of what Sahit weighs. This is a really, really heavy bag for this exercise. We're using the Bulgarian bag for a few reasons, one of which is the gripping that's involved. It has a couple of handles on it, and with the momentum that's caused when you actually start swinging the bag around, it's really difficult to hold on to. So again, for any sport that requires grappling, wrestling, tackling, this is a phenomenal exercise to build up grip strength, forearm strength, and shoulder strength for that. Good work. Let's go the roll with the slam. All right, it's another calisthenic gymnastic-based exercise just to get his heart rate going even higher. It's really good for his fitness, as well as flexibility. We set and go. All right, slam it hard, set, slam it hard. That's it. All right, it's time for round 2 now. Sahit's got on the Max's singlet, so he's going to go even better than before. All right, guys, we're about to go into round 3. To be perfectly honest with you, most of you wouldn't even get this far. All right, and Sahit's starting to fatigue. He's feeling every bit of it. He's in the top few in the world. But if he goes and does round 3, and continues like this, he'll make it to number 1. Let's do it, Sahit. Last round, brother. Explode it. That's it. Come on, kill it. No different than an opponent. It's a takedown. Slam it hard. Thanks for that, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thanks, boys.